Yeah, I was born to be the greatest. Yeah, I was born to be your favorite. Look, ma, I'm on the billboard, I made it. That's what I dream every day, so I say it. Yeah, hey, but I'm humble, Kendrick. Straight out of the jungle, I'm fearless. Yeah, hey, but you win some, you lose some. I'm about to start the show. You try to knock me down, you try to take my crown. But look at me now, yeah, look at me now. Look at me now, yeah, look at me now. Hey, you cannot stop me, you cannot stop me. No, hey, you cannot stop me, you cannot stop me. Go!
Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. 2022 GSL Season 3.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GSL Code S round of 4. We're almost to the finish line. Today, we eliminate the final 2 players and, of course, then go on to the finals itself.
We had an unreal round of 6. It was just every game, game 5, the couple of reverse sweeps from GuMiho out of this world. It was absolutely hype. More hype than anything that I feel like we've had for the last couple of years, at least here at GSL. And this is hype now. This round of 4 is sick. We are so packed down there.
It is
it's insane.
almost completely filled up here in the studio. They might have to rearrange some of the set here if they're going to squeeze any more people in.
And it's electric here, man. There's energy.
You can feel the energy here in the audience. And what a lineup of the Final Four we have. Obviously, I think the big focal point here for the Final Four right now is Maru and Hero in a rematch again. This is, of course, the rematch of the Season 2 finals that we had where Hero became the first Protoss to win a GSL in 5 years over Maru, who would have been a 5-time GSL champion. That is a record-breaking number that has not been achieved.
That's right.
Yeah, ever.
That's right. We might get it this season. We don't know, right? Like, Rogue is gone. Dark got eliminated early. This is clearing part of the path, but Hero does stand in the way. That's like a ridiculous round of 4 match. It shouldn't even be allowed when you think about it. When they got first and second last season, it's like, yeah, but if you, like, beat the wrong people or lose the wrong people, you guys might not be in the finals again.
It's crazy.
Who made that rule, Tasus?
By the way, guys, information at the bottom of the screen. The finals is going to be on the 15th. It starts at 5 p.m. Right now it's 6:30 p.m. So if you're used to tuning in at the normal time, whatever time zone you're in, this would be an hour and a half earlier from that. If you're going to buy tickets, the link is there. The tickets go live at 5 p.m. KST tomorrow.
Yes. So that's an hour and a half before now, 24 hours from now, which would be 22 and a half hours from now.
Yeah, if you're watching the VOD and you're pretending to be now.
Oh, damn. Then they're not going to get the tickets. But
be sure to jump on that, though. It is going to be in this studio. And, you know, this is a fairly large studio, but we always sell out on tickets.
We will sell out.
And we will sell out for this one, too. So you do not want to be missing out on that.
And you don't need a Korean ID or card or anything like that.
We just checked with that. That will not be an issue. So, yeah. And by the way, we also need to tell you, they do not sell tickets if you show up.
That's right. They will not sell one to you at the studio.
Yeah, there's no system even in place for that. So you have to have a ticket ahead of time. If you can't make it and you're in Seoul, I recommend seeing if there's some kind of local, I don't know, a bar craft or some kind of viewing party that you can go to there. But yeah, I mean, it's the round of 4, and I mean, we're already running out of oxygen here in the studio. So just be sure to get on that. Anyways, on to the show itself now. Kind of a dramatic round of 6. We really could not have asked for more epic games. GuMiho coming back after being down 0-2, coming back 3-0 2 times in a row.
It was absolutely absurd. And it's funny because you say, like, the highlight of tonight is Maru versus Hero, and you're right. But, like, GuMiho is another secondary highlight, which is pretty sick. He'll be going against RagnaroK, who actually had the best record out of everyone in the tournament in the last round. And by the way, RagnaroK, GuMiho, Hero all came out of Group A. Maru came out of Group B.
Oh,
from
that's
the
a great observation, Artosis.
Okay, so the fact that RagnaroK wrecked that group completely, and the other 2 people that came up with him, like, also are there? It's crazy, Tasus. I want to keep talking.
We're going to have an interview with the first round of 4 players. And soon you will get to see innovative builds and fierce mind games. So please be ready for the storm. We're going to have an interview with the master strategists of each race. Hello, RagnaroK. Hello, GuMiho.
네, 이렇게 4강 1경기 선수들 만나보겠습니다.
So we're gonna have an interview with the first match players of round
무려
4.
10년.
RagnaroK,
10년 만에
it's
세계
taken you
첫
10
4강에
years to make it to your first
사강하러 경기장에
GSL round
온
of 4.
기분 좀 어땠을까요?
How do you feel right now?
아무래도 제 주변에 이제 4강 간 형들이 워낙 많다 보니까
I mean, there are so many players around me who have made it to round of 4 before.
어떻게 4강을 이제 가서
So they actually gave me
해야
good
할지
advices
알려줘가지고
on how to
그런
play in the
조언
round of 4.
덕분에
And thanks to
좀
them,
마음 편하게 왔어요.
I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now.
지금 이번 시즌 나에게로 기운이 오고 있다. 이렇게
And RagnaroK,
이야기를
this season
하셨거든요.
you said
지금
is really turning out to be a good
앞에
season for
앉아 있는
you.
상황에서
And right now GuMiho is sitting
우주의
beside
기운이
you.
나를 좀 감싸는 것 같나요?
And do you think the universe is helping you right now?
네, 왜냐면은
I think so, yes.
만약에 수호 형이 올라왔으면은
If it was DRG sitting beside me, I wouldn't have any had any practice partners to play. So you know, I'm really thankful to GuMiho for being here, so that I don't have to play a ZVZ.
테란전 연습할 사람이 많으니까.
And I have so many players to scrim with for Terran matchup, so I'm really thankful.
선수의 경기를 굉장히 응원하면서
So RagnaroK, I heard that you were
보셨던 것 같은데,
you were rooting for
그렇다면
GuMiho so
냉정한
much in his
감정
match against
들어볼 수
DRG.
있을까요?
So how about a
제가
candid
기도로 한 거는 그냥 진짜 연습
feedback
상대 때문이고
on the
되게
round of 6 match
잘하기도
of
하고
GuMiho's?
다 봤는데
I mean, he's a stellar
수호
player.
형이 무조건 이길 거라
And I
생각해요.
honestly thought DRG was gonna win no matter what.
정석으로 갔을 때 이제
Because you know, when it's a standard versus standard play, DRG always has the upper hand.
그 허점을 되게 잘 찌르더라고요.
But GuMiho was able to exploit DRG's weaknesses really well that day.
그러니까 수호 형전 보기 전까지는 병재 형이 되게 저한테는 쉬운 상대였는데.
So you know, to me, GuMiho was an easy opponent before his match against DRG, but not now. It's entirely changed. GuMiho, you made 2 miraculous reverse sweeps in the round of 6, and you made it to the round of 4. This is a round of 4 in 5 years for you, GuMiho. You had very short preparation time, only 2 days. So how did preparation go for you, GuMiho?
많이 못했습니다.
Honestly, I was not able to practice that much.
저 지금 머릿속으로도 계속 돌아가고 있어요. 뭐 할지.
You know, so right now, even right now, my brain is just like working 24/7. I'm thinking of all the builds I'm going to use today. I have not had the time to practice. I was predominantly playing ladder and like computer AI games.
잘 없긴 하지만 뭐.
So I'm not too confident, but I'm just gonna have to try my best today. I mean, GuMiho, you're renowned as the build master, so we're definitely looking forward to your builds today. So it's taken you 3 hours to get here, GuMiho, from Mokpo. So how's your mindset right now?
마인드 컨트롤 해야 되는데 원래는.
Well, I'm trying to
못 자가지고
control my mind, trying to maintain my composure. You know, I slept on the way here, which is a good thing. I'm a little bit exhausted, so I really want to dive into the match right now. Okay, the master strategists of Zerg and Terran are going to be clashing with each other. So, RagnaroK, is there a build that you would approve of GuMiho's?
민수 상대로 했던 전순이 제일 멋있었던
I
것
mean,
같아요.
GuMiho's match against Solar when he used the battle cruiser, that was really inspirational.
경쟁하면 전순이 이제 먼저 떠오르긴 하는데.
You know, whenever I see GuMiho, I always remind myself of the battle cruisers, and I'm sure Solar knew it as well.
그랬는데도 불구하고 이긴
But
게
despite
대단한 것
that, GuMiho was able to beat him, which is remarkable. Then GuMiho, which build of RagnaroK's do you think is impressive?
일단 전진의 처리가 제일 많이
I feel like
떠오르고.
proxy hatchery for GuMiho, for RagnaroK is really phenomenal to watch. It's not a common build for sure, but whenever he uses it, he always wins. So it's kind of fascinating, to be honest. I mean, that's right. And the two builds have not met in an offline match before. It's their first time today. So how do you predict the score to go? If I win today,
3대 0 아니면 3대 1.
I think it's gonna be 3-0 or 3-1. Okay, that was GuMiho's prediction. Then what about you, RagnaroK?
전 3대 0이요.
For me, 3-0 clean sweep. All right, so the both players predict that it's going to be a 3-0 win for them. All right, lastly, anything else you want to say to each other before we kick off the match? Only this round before the finals. RagnaroK.
전 지금 그냥 너무 재밌어요. 지금 상황이 그래서.
You know, I'm just like so happy right now. I think I can have an entertaining match today.
그냥 저만 실수 안 하면
As long as I don't make trivial mistakes, I think I should be able to win.
신경 안 쓰고 저에만 집중하고 있어요.
You know, I'm not gonna care about GuMiho that much. I'm just gonna focus on myself. All right, it's a fight against himself. That's what RagnaroK says. What about you, GuMiho?
많은 분들이 와주셔서
Well, there are so many people here at the venue today, so I'm really thankful.
시간이 부족했지만
I've
그래도
not
나름대로
had the time to prepare, but I've done some research. I did some analysis, so I'm gonna try really hard today. All right then. RagnaroK is looking to move on to his first GSL finals, and for GuMiho, it is his finals after his military service. Both players are equally desperate, and they're really eager to move on to the finals. Let's kick off the match.
초블링나님 차이가 너무 많이 나는데요. 오 이거 집중 한번. 오! 양과 포스가 하나가 다르게 계속 올라가고 있는데요.
신영 선수 4전 전승으로 4강 진출.
리페어 전수는 언제적인지 기억도 나지만 아마도 여기 앞서 달려버려요. 이거 진짜
박살내고 있습니다.
또 다운이죠. 그렇죠. 꼭 버티겠는데요.
역시 외사나의 필드마스터, 타밍마스터 고병재 엄청나게 해내면서 4강 진출.
Today's matchup. RagnaroK. GuMiho. Match 1. GSL Season 3.
All right, guys, we're ready to go into this insane match, man. I gotta say, you know, one side of the bracket, absolutely, I could see that happening, right? Hero Maru, it's kind of a dream matchup here. It still makes for a very different finals. These two guys, I just didn't see getting this far, to be totally honest.
Well, I think it's about time we start looking at RagnaroK in this new light that he's created for himself. That is 3 round of 6s in a row for him. He's been crushing. He hasn't made it to the finals yet, but he's very close. He has played the best tournament so far, and you actually, there's no argument there. He has played the best tournament. He has the best record. He did the best in the last round, and he had the toughest group, which has been proven because the other 2 people that came out of his group are still here. In fact, maybe the person who got 4th in his group would be here if Maru didn't have such an easy group.
It's crazy because a lot of times, as you said, you know, 3 of these players coming from the same group, that is, even if you were probably destined to get to a Final Four, that's the one way you get flooded out, right? Is you get squashed by a heavier group. But here he is now. And GuMiho, you know, he's back from his military service. This is a former GSL champion, but it's several years back. I mean, pretty long ago. And what a journey he's taken to get here. And look, this is a guy that's got a very novel approach to the game. You couldn't have a more different Terran player from Maru in this group right now. But he's gotten here, and what's weird is when he plays normal, he almost looks better than when he plays his kind of inventive, super obtuse style.
Well, he's got such an aggressive style that he plays with. But this guy is really, I feel like RagnaroK has filled himself out so well at this point. He was known as a cheesy player for most of his career, and in fact, even this year we saw lots of proxy hatches, lots of pool firsts and stuff. But guess what? He plays some solid macro as well. Like, he has some really fantastic macro plays. He has great one-hit punch builds on huge economies and stuff. Like, he is legitimately becoming one of the best Zergs in the world. He actually is. And like, I didn't see it coming. You didn't see it coming. It's hard to get our brains around it, but it's true, and we're seeing it.
Well, we're so used to seeing him be viable and getting to a certain, you know, length or a certain distance in a tournament, but not closing it out. But I mean, here he is. He's the Zerg now in the Final Four. GuMiho, you know, both these guys, RagnaroK and GuMiho, I should say, they have a lot of builds that are very well designed to take the game into a totally different direction, right? And then they're going to be trying to play by their own rules. But what happens when you have 2 players who both do that all the time? We could end up with some games that we just will never see again.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And honestly, I feel like GuMiho's actual like mechish, weird BC style might be good against RagnaroK, right? Like he's the type of aggression that he brings out. Who knows what we're going to see, guys? This is going to be a best of 5 for the finals. Waterfall, Inside and Out, Stargazers, Tropical Sacrifice, and Data C. Let's see what we have.
All right, guys, our best of 5 begins now. The winner of this goes to the finals of Season 3 of the GSL.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Okay, let's get into this game now.
Yeah.
Very excited to see who's going to move on. You know, it's funny, on one side of the bracket, you have these heavyweights with Maru and Hero. And that's going to be exciting because either let's pretend that one of those two guys wins, right? That's going to be a total record-breaking score. A Protoss now wins 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Or Maru wins his 5th GSL and basically gets GSL supremacy there in total domination. But on the other side of the bracket with these two, you've got 2 very interesting stories going on here. Spinner, happy birthday.
Wow,
welcome. Excellent. Okay, you've got 2 players where it's like, gosh, I don't even know who to root for. Both stories are so inspiring between GuMiho and RagnaroK.
Yeah. I mean, RagnaroK has been coming up for a while, and if he can go ahead and end up taking a championship, that's like such a big deal for his career. And I think it would be a cool coming out party for him being one of the world's best Zergs now. You know, Rogue is gone. That spot is missing, right? We have to have 4 Zergs that are better than all the other players in the world. And maybe RagnaroK is going to be that 4th.
So both sides, at least for now, pretty modest approach. You know, we didn't have any kind of weird proxy hatchery. We didn't have, you know, barracks lined up just outside the Zerg's base.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we won't have something crazy or interesting happen. But it's also possible to start the series off, they basically want to open up with something pretty generic to get a feel for where the other player's at. You know, it's been a couple weeks into GSL now, and no doubt these guys have not played each other at all for those weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it can be a little bit tough to tell where they're at exactly. So sometimes you'll see somebody open up pretty standard and try to get an idea.
Well, right now, GuMiho did go reactored Marines into the command center now factory with 2nd gas, so should probably be going into Starport. But of course, GuMiho has some crazy stuff he does. Who knows if it's a 2nd factory? We saw that once from him in this tournament. That was wild. But
now we do want to point out that GuMiho has done some like weird mech stuff, and it looks really good, and then it doesn't win, and then he goes into normal play and just dominates, which is kind of weird to see.
Yeah.
You normally think you would go into normal play and you would not make it, and then you do your weird mech stuff that only you can do and win, because why else would you be even toying with it if you weren't the very best and you made it work better than your normal play?
Yeah, right. It's it's kind of a fascinating thing. Also, during that interview, it was funny to hear RagnaroK say, like, oh, I'm going to 3-0. That'd be the most scary thing in the whole world if you ask me. If I'm RagnaroK, I'm throwing one of the first 2 games because you don't want GuMiho to start out 0-2.
Oh, he actually overextended. My God. Okay, he does end up getting that 1 Marine, but kind of an overextension on both sides. It seems like GuMiho just barely missed the mark, and then the Marines overstayed their welcome. They got dropped.
I got to tell you something, Tasteless.
Yes.
The more we're watching GuMiho play, like, look at this completely in-your-face aggression. This is something we were talking about when he was playing against DRG, where it's like when he goes bio, he plays more aggressively than literally anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, he is attacking, he's moving forward instead of kiting. Like, he kites forward instead of backwards. The guy has absolutely no fear. And here he is walking across the map with this small amount of Marines, zapping queens, zapping creep tumors. This is phenomenal.
But there is going to be a big battering ram of roaches coming across the map. And you can see GuMiho actually debates does he want to go back and defend, or does he want to try to attack in. We're going to see if he made the right decision or not. It seems like the rest of GuMiho's forces are going to go ahead and try to retreat up onto the high ground. He may need to lift the CC.
Yeah, I think so. Queens are here to wait for him. Unfortunately, he did see that coming through, and it was a little bit like GuMiho not deciding exactly what they want to do. Little hold position on those SCVs. So they are like just trying to block the Roaches. He's going to have to manually target them, not just attack move.
It's important to note, hold position, a very different way to approach this than to use attack, because the AI will always attack what element is actually attacking them. So when you use hold position, it kind of messes up the AI of the Roaches.
That's right. Marauder comes down to get some extra hits here, but he's going to lose multiple depots. He's supply blocked pretty massively. 9 SCVs already have fallen. Units are falling as well. His Hellion counterattack is not really doing that much yet.
Yeah, he does get 4 drones, and he's still got 4 Hellions. So, I mean, there's still opportunities to be made here.
Look, if he gets 10 more right now, then maybe we can call this position even, but I don't think that there's any chance of that, Tasteless. I really think RagnaroK is having a much better opening here without any question.
And, you know, this season we've seen RagnaroK actually do a pretty large number of these, like, roach attacks where they just beeline across the map, and it just seems like maybe there's a little bit too much corner cutting here from Terrans, where they're too caught up in the idea of attacking them that they're not appreciating that you can just run across and hit them. And I mean, that command center had to lift off and go all the way back. Zerg's on his 4th base. I really like the pacing of this here for RagnaroK. In fact, I think this is going to be an extremely difficult mid-game for GuMiho, where I don't really know if he can even make opportunities for himself. It seems like a straightforward start that then became very Zerg-sided.
Yes. It's so grossly in RagnaroK's favor right now. I think it's pretty clear GuMiho will probably do, and we saw this before from him in a game where he got behind. It's likely, I think, that he will simply... Oh, look at that. Oh, he does get the shot off. Okay. I think it's pretty likely that he'll just do a 2-base all-in, like a really hard one. Like, just go as hard as he can. He'll stop producing SCVs probably in the early 40s here, and just get +1 combat shields, all that, and just go for it.
Oh god, it's a decent amount of drone kills. I agree with what you're saying though, Artosis, to go back a little bit here. It's kind of hard in a game that's developed the way that this one has, that the Terran is just going to take a 3rd base and a 4th base. It seems like if Terran were to try to develop, the Zerg would just come in and you know, trample the bases that Terran would try to set up. So it almost seems like Terran has to try to really lean hard into aggression. And the Terran shouldn't win the fights, but maybe with really great control he can.
Yeah, look, he's already starting to push out. He starts a 3rd command center, so that kind of negates the theory I had on how he was going to end up playing this.
Well, I kind of liked what you were saying, but I mean, this is another way to do it, and let's see if he can make something happen. It is 2-base to 4-base for a while here, and Zerg's eventually going to very comfortably get a 5th here. That's going to line right up with his income.
Yeah. Well, let's see what GuMiho has. Like, he has a couple tanks there. He has some Marauders, so his army's okay against the Roaches, but 1-1 is going to finish for the Lings. It just doesn't seem like he has enough here. It's going to
zoom
like he might
go into the main.
Yeah, I mean, this, like, never works, right? You don't even have room to micro, like, they're just going to come up upon you, but we'll see. He sets up. He's there way before RagnaroK gets back up. He gets everything unloaded, which is nice.
Yeah, but as you said, this kind of never works, right? He's going to jump back down onto the low ground.
Okay.
He is going to kill off some of these queens. We don't have any reinforcements coming here, so what you see is what you get.
You know, it took a while for that slow army of RagnaroK to actually go all the way around into the main, and now he abuses that by going down into this 4th base location. Not going to get that much done, but, like, he's trying.
Yeah, we don't have the 3rd base landed yet for GuMiho. And it looks like Terran should be pretty hard-pressed to try to hold this position, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many barracks are actually in the main? Is it something like 3 or 4? I mean, it's not the right number.
Yeah, it's something like that, look, RagnaroK's just, like, taking more bases. He has Baneling speed, he has 1-1, he has some Ravagers in here.
And he's kind of making it look easy for himself, but it really does come down to the little back and forths we had. We had, like, 2 moments where they were engaging each other, and the Zerg's decision-making just came out way on top.
Yeah, the Roach attack did a lot there early on. I think GuMiho, you know, he's rubbing 2 nickels together to make a quarter, but I don't know if it's going to end up working for him. You know, he's adding the barracks, he's mining from that 3rd base, he's trying to stay active on the map. But, like, Zerg is so healthy right now, 74 drones. great upgrades. You know, he's got the Baneling speed already. He's got some Ravagers with these Lings. He's gonna like 2-2 is halfway done. You know, this is a dream scenario. He's gonna have 5 bases. His creep spread's not perfect, but can't have everything.
Yeah, the concern now is that basically Zerg is going to get so high in supply, he can just pound this third base. Or, you know, do a Nidus and worm into the main. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can kind of end this here.
Yeah, I think it's very likely he'll just do a massive, massive attack. Like, look at his army. There's like a lot of Banes in there. He's got the Ravagers for biling any tanks or Liberators or what have you. This Liberator does try to set up in the forest over here. Hit that Queen out. It's kind of a nice and annoying little area, isn't it? The group of Marines here going to clear a little bit of creep, go a few Lings here. As the Banes come, though, he's going to have to get out. You know, GuMiho, like, he's playing well. It's just the deficit that he was at makes it a little bit tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's so behind right now. Now, I mean, maybe there's a really bad overextension. Maybe RagnaroK attacks in pretty poorly. It's kind of hard to imagine, but in a moment like that, maybe. But we could see ground attack and armor for the Zerg is going to finish. And this is probably going to queue up, tee up a little attack for him here.
Probably. You can see that GuMiho actually is getting reasonably more efficient than RagnaroK at the moment. But it's like, when you're getting armies this large, there's not a lot you can do with these little groups that GuMiho has. It's like, yeah, this is max Zerg coming at you right now.
Yeah.
GuMiho, though, he has a good amount of army supply.
Dude, there's like nothing over here.
Oh my god.
I see
that
like
is many Banelings.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, there's so little here that he can come in there, he can wipe out that position, which cuts the income in by, you know, it takes a third of that out, basically. There's a huge drop coming here.
Look at this. The double attack here from GuMiho. He kills that 4th base location. The 5th he was putting damage on just goes right into the main base now with this attack.
I had not actually noticed this on the minimap, so it's kind of funny to see this come out over here. I don't know what he's going to get done here. This definitely did more damage than he expected, but again, the problem is, like, if you look at this from the Zerg's vantage point, like, you're okay losing a base. You have so many bases. Terran is just trying to get the base that would basically put you into mid-game, like the 3rd base up here, and doesn't have it. And, you know, it's basically, I can't imagine it's ever going to be enough to where he can kind of, you know, engineer a win from this.
Man, yeah. Like, I think that GuMiho is actually, decision-making wise, doing absolutely fantastically, right? Like, he's just lifting his 3rd and doing counterattacks, and he's trying to stay really active all over the place against a Ling Bane Ravager, you know, type of army. There's not like a lot of anti-air other than Queen, so, you know, he can kind of do this. So I think he's giving himself every opportunity here. It's just RagnaroK has to screw up quite a bit. And
this, by the way, goes to show you what happens if you don't get Mutalisks, like how long this goes on for.
Yeah, that's very true. He is getting the Ultralisk Cavern, and normally it's good to throw down a Spire around the time you're getting Ultras to add in a few Corruptors. You know, you can chase those Medevacs, you can get rid of the Liberators, which can become a good counter as well.
Okay, chasing us back a little bit over here. Let's see if Terran can come up here. It's been kind of a rough game to watch here. You know, I mean, GuMiho's trying his damnedest, but every time I look at the mini-map, I get less and less confident about his position.
Oh, I'm pretty confident about his position, Tasteless. It's just, it's bad.
Oh, and the Marines and SCVs, Marauders, everything. If he can get this over to safety, maybe. The Banes are going to keep coming forward. They come down here, and he's going to get sandwiched. There's no Medevacs to pick this up.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah, this is a massacre.
Left.
GG. Okay, RagnaroK takes that. He won it maybe 6 minutes ago, but he got the closer there.
Yeah. The Roach attack was too lopsided. He got a lot of damage to that, right? He did a big supply block, ended mining, got units, got 9+ SCVs, whereas the counter Hellion drop really didn't do much. The thing is, the very initial opening from GuMiho with the little Marine Hellion push that killed 2 tumors, got a Queen or 2, like that type of move I think is quite brilliant. We never see things like that, and it was doing well. But, you know, the counterattack of RagnaroK, just a bit too strong. GuMiho simply wasn't ready. He didn't see it till it was halfway across the map. Not enough time for a bunker at the natural. Had to go up the ramp. Everything goes wrong. tough situation there for GuMiho, and it kind of a disappointing loss because he didn't get to show very much.
Yeah, and a kind of straightforward approach early on to just have this set of roaches that just kind of ignore everything and run right in there. And I think we're going to have to see GuMiho respect that play from RagnaroK. He's used that to great success in other ZVTs here, where he just has a rush. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. He runs away. But if you're like trying to be too fancy, if you're trying to cut too many corners and you're not respecting the fact that like roaches are beefy units that can just attack you, you're going to be in trouble. Looks like we're ready now to go into game 2. It's going to be on the map inside and out. RagnaroK has taken a 1-0 lead. Again, the early game is certainly the most important part of that game here. We're going to see if GuMiho can change it up. I imagine we're going to see a lot of different types of Terran vs. Zerg openings here. But so far from RagnaroK, I mean, kind of simplifying the game by just going for an attack, and if you're not ready, you're going to be punished.
It's a good way to put it. And, it's like there's a little bit of risk to him, but definitely it at least tells him exactly what you're doing and what you have, you know? There's a lot of value in it for RagnaroK, and right there especially, where it almost won the game. Obviously, there's a lot of follow-up things he has to do, but like you said, it really simplifies what's going on.
Okay, putting the jacket on here.
What is this?
I was wondering what that was.
Oh, is he cold? Is that what it is? That doesn't look
Could
very
be.
warm.
I don't know.
He's rolling the sleeves up, so that can't be it.
I will tell you, I think playing cold is pretty difficult. I find like I don't want to be too hot, obviously, but yeah.
Oh, I hate being really hot, but I hate being really cold.
You want to have the Goldilocks temperature there?
100%.
Yeah,
man.
this body's just right. Now I'm ready to go.
You should see me with like my blanket in my bed. Like it'll end up where like I'll have it shaped like the letter S because I'm like, well, I want it over my
I want
my
like my right leg covered, but my feet need to be sticking out.
Yeah,
or
my
something
feet
like
need
that.
to be out, and then I'm like, well, yeah, I want it over my midsection, but not over my shoulders.
Yeah.
I need my left arm under the blanket, my right arm like under my pillow.
It's like you just have like a balled up blanket on your stomach, and that's how you sleep.
That's, that's probably closer to it.
Well, it looks like he's got that. He also has a heating pack in his hands. You can get those at any pharmacy out here, by the way. I've had people ask me, like, where can I get that? I don't know if they have
those
those.
are great.
Yeah, I actually like them when it's wintertime.
Dude, I get big boxes of them for the wintertime. It's like,
I have a
keeping
bunch
your
in my
hands
house.
warm is so important.
Because if your hands are too cold, it's hard.
Yeah.
The towel's back. We're getting a lot of good content around what the players have on their hands here.
Yeah.
Yeah, GuMiho with hypohidrosis. We're not joking about that, by the way. It does need to play with a towel over the mouse. His hands get too sweaty. Thought that's impossible. Apparently not.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, Game 2 has loaded up. The best of 5 continues on to see who moves on to the GSL Season 3 Codex Finals.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Okay.
So we've got Barracks Gas opening here. Hatch right away here from RagnaroK.
RagnaroK is being very careful. We've seen him both games now. Scout a little bit extra, like in his natural and everything. Just double check in for any sort of crazy proxy shenanigans. Doesn't want to have an insta loss.
I was going to mention earlier, but the game already picked up as we had a lot of Terran players go for Command Center first on this map. So you guys can see here, packed in the studio.
Absolutely packed, man. It's
close. Showing it to a GM. I love that sign. From Virginia, welcome. Italy. I'm like, watch how fast I can read, guys. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry we didn't get close-ups of your signs, but they'll be catching them in between.
I like that. I like
each of the games.
Closest I'll ever get to a GM. To GM. It's clever. But yeah, it's truly like a lot of people in here. That's the back part. That's like behind the seats that they thought would fill up today. There's like all these other seats that have now filled up.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys buy your tickets tomorrow as soon as it opens.
And I think when they eventually run out of room, sometimes we have people standing in the hallway.
Yeah, right? We've definitely had that.
Yeah, a lot of some people have told production downstairs, oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's just great to have you guys down here again. This is so fun. But yeah, definitely don't want to be one of the people last in here when you're standing watching from the hallway, which is kind of at an incline. Watching GSL on an incline is not comfortable.
I don't know. That's what I do when I watch it from my bed taste. It's a little bit of an incline, you know?
So
better an incline than a decline, my friend.
So, yeah, a little bit of back and forth here. Is he going to get this? No, of course not. This is StarCraft 2 with the Reaper and Lynx.
Dude, when a GuMiho uses the Reaper, I feel like he's got, like, he takes his hand off the mouse and keyboard. Instead, he has, like, a steering wheel with a pedal. Like, he just, like, he dives in, man. Like, he goes through the Ling's legs and stuff. Like, he's sliding like it's a bad action movie.
He's controlling the Reaper with Oculus wands.
He, like, the Reaper's motorcycle goes sideways and slides under a truck. Like, damn, man.
This is a good catch here. He's going to kill off the over.
What? No, you better get that.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. You want to kill that fast. The longer the supply block, the better.
Yeah. And that blood all falls in the lava. That DNA's gone. DNA can't live through lava tasteless. Abathur probably still knows the DNA that Overlord had, but like, you know, just like in general lava, you know.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb. Don't go in lava, guys. Your DNA will be gone.
By the way, 12 more Lings, but he's going to drone behind that.
Okay.
So, might want to come out. Maybe some ideas a little bit similar to what we saw before.
Reaper's still going for it. Checking everything out. Banshee on the way. Is he going to throw down Cloak? Let's see. There it is. Okay, so I'm a little bit excited because if you recall, he's actually getting a tech lab on the barracks.
Oh my God, he's going to get this surrounded. It was like,
is he now?
It was like they could have gotten away, then they didn't, and then they did. Oh, kind of funny miscontrol here. Okay,
GuMiho used his nitro there. It looks. Yeah, the Lings, though, getting some decent damage, really. He already got one of the Hellions. He's gotten a couple SCVs. Went after the Mule there. Didn't quite get the Mule. A couple more Hellions coming down. Oh, and he just saves those. So not that much damage, but I think that was still a pretty good move. Now, something I wanted to mention. Okay, I guess it's not going to be this game. But remember, he started Hyperflight Rotors one game, but, like, something went wrong and he like canceled everything out. So I guess there's no real chance here, but I was kind of excited when he was going Banshee that maybe we'll see whatever build it was that he was going to show us before, but no, it's just going to be a Hellion Banshee into bio play. No problem there. Kind of an older style. We do still see it from time to time. It's like a good mix-in and everything, but let's see how much damage GuMiho can get done or if he's just going to focus more on the fringes. Denying that creep all.
Yeah, kind of funny to see some of the same themes in Game 1 and Game 2 of just some kind of raise and attack right up to the front to keep the Terran honest and keep him back. Double Banshee's coming down now with Cloak finished. We're going to see what he can get done here. And clearly this is not going to be about creep, but instead about trying to get the drones. There is a Spore, but there's going to be angles on the side where he can try to snipe that. He does get one drone taken out.
Yeah, not too much damage as of yet. Like putting a little bit on the Queens. Oh, look at this. He catches some transferring drones. A little bit sloppy there from RagnaroK. The Hellion's going to run in a bit. One Ling actually screwing up their volleys there for a moment. You know what? He's getting some good damage. 8 drones down. But it looks like his Hellions just get so caught right there.
Yeah, 8 drones is actually worth it, you know, for the few Hellions that were killed there. But ideally, he would have wanted to get a little bit more. Stim's done, but we're not going to have a push for a little bit. The third base is being taken here for Terran. And it's important to remember that, you know, this game basically can't look like the last game because the Terran hasn't been beaten up the same way that he was in Game 1. The Lings didn't do the same kind of damage that the Roaches did.
He did end up losing a Banshee there as well, unfortunately. So a lot harder to keep that as an active harassment tool, right? It's like I would say it's like too micro-intensive really to utilize one Banshee for harassment. You know, with 2 at least you can one-shot drones and get damage at a reasonable speed. So we'll see what he ends up doing with that. Probably just send it somewhere to deny hatches or something like that. But Ling Bane Hydra gonna be what RagnaroK's gonna go for.
Yeah, and this is a really strong style if you make the next 2 or 3 attacks work, because there's so much damage that comes out because the Banelings blow up and then the Hydras kill everything that wasn't killed by that. And it's meant to really like dislodge the Terran from the position that they're in, trying to go into a comfortable game here.
That Banshee did get a scout on that new base going down. Look at this. RagnaroK is going up to 5 bases really, really quickly here. GuMiho, we haven't really seen exactly what his plan is. He might be going for a tank push here. He is making a 4th command center, which is very good to see. 1-1 is about to finish. Actually, yeah, and he did already have the armory. Look at that, insta 2-2. So very, very good, just staying on top of those upgrades.
Well, he's got the 4th command center coming up here. I got to say, RagnaroK looks pretty scary on his side of the map.
He does.
If he goes for a Lingbane Hydra, he might be looking for a fight coming up here.
He's getting very big, isn't he?
Yeah. Like, and his upgrades are coming along very nicely.
Yeah. I like that from GuMiho, by the way. That little wall on the side kind of reminds me of Hero
smart.
a little bit. He's like walling way far out, so it's going to be hard to hit that harassment without him knowing.
But it's not gateways, not as beefy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And look at this, a little attack comes down here. He does get 1 drone. He's targeting down the hatchery, but I think there's enough baits. Oh, I can't believe how much actually got away there. Only 1 Marine died. How funny. Looked like it was going to be much worse.
Put some good damage on that hatchery, too. He'll be back, Tasis. We'll see if he gets it next time. All right, clearing some more creep. An interesting tank placement there. Just kind of looking at that ramp. I do like that kind of like little forward position he has in front of that 3rd base location. That area feels secure enough that it would be annoying for RagnaroK to even attempt to do anything over on that side. And GuMiho has a lot of peace of mind over there, so I feel like he can actually focus on what he's doing here as opposed to be like looking at the side of his eye, you know, the side of his eyes, like looking for banelings to run into.
You got this, man. You're like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm like, Tasis, I was so excited
looking
for
at
today.
the side of his
Tasis,
mouth.
Tasis, I drank like 9 coffees, okay? I don't know what's going on anymore, but there's like a wall of depots, and I've never seen it before, and it's crazy.
Speaking of which, that wall is going to get torn down. It does buy Terran a little bit of time. And the push, I got to say, the tank placement is like really scary. It's really spread out. The Banes are being fished forward and being hit by tanks. And he's kind of taking advantage of the fact that there's this huge divide. There's 2 pushes coming down from either side, and he can use the medevacs to seesaw to whichever side he thinks is going to be a little bit weaker. In this case, it's going to be the upper left.
And look at this. He's like on creep playing this out. It can be a very risky thing to actually not scan the creep and kind of let it recede a little bit. So he's having a little bit of a hard time, has to continually pick up and go back. Now his wall is done over here. He's sending some reinforcements as the SCVs go back. Yeah, no banelings in here, so he's going to be all right. We'll see if he re-walls.
I mean, this is a scary push, but I want to point out no position has fallen. Well, hold that thought.
Tasteless?
How embarrassing. Why did I say that?
Oh, my God.
But he does get 1. Can he keep this going? He's kind of right in the middle in between all the bases, so he's got like opportunities to maybe hit
my God.
a lot. Well, hold on. That was
Look at how
pretty
much
instant.
Lingbane is there.
Yeah.
We should have smaller unit caps. There should be upkeep. What is going on here?
Oh, there's a hatchery here apparently. So he's going to come up here and try to hit this. I think the Hydra Lingbane could barely drive this out.
Yeah, that's a lot of banelings.
But it seems like GuMiho is too far away to kind of recover from this. I mean, he's microing very well, but the Zerg is already so deep on the map. The Terran is not in the same kind of position as the Zerg is. I mean, RagnaroK seems to have a very comfortable, he's very comfortable in kind of growing and just keeping the Terran at bay. I mean, he's almost making these look easy considering what Maru did. I'm sorry, what GuMiho did earlier in this this tournament.
RagnaroK definitely is playing a great game here. Like he's macroing so well. He got his economy set up early and very, very strongly. Like, look at the amount of Lingbane he's throwing in here. GuMiho just GG's.
Now,
and he has 4 bases and he's GGing, man.
Now,
like, that's how hard that game was.
Now, I want to point something out, though, okay? I mean, here's the problem. Now RagnaroK is really screwed because GuMiho is down 0-2. So we know how this works.
Yeah. GuMiho has him on the ropes right now.
Yeah.
And those were kind of one-sided games, which is actually, this is GuMiho's MO. RagnaroK should not have fallen for this. He should have let GuMiho win in game 1.
Yeah.
This was actually RagnaroK's mistake. He's going to be kicking himself.
Right. Yeah. Well, I will say RagnaroK kind of made that look almost too easy, right? I mean, he was just so comfortable. And it seems like RagnaroK, you know, the games that he's played, it would be really great to do like a deep dive on what he's doing, because he's just kind of staying out of range of the Terran the whole time. It just seems like whatever the Terran's doing, it's like, no, you're too late for that. Too late for this, too late for that. Let's see what happens, man. Stargazers for map 3 here, RagnaroK versus GuMiho. Either coming to an end here in a very one-sided series, or GuMiho beginning that comeback that he has done 2 times already in the round of 6.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Okay, so GuMiho played a pretty normal TVZ. And when I say normal, I don't mean like bad or average. I just mean that's what a lot of Terrans look like when they play.
Yeah.
Support from Germany. Excellent. Welcome from Canada. GuMiho support here in the audience. I love that shirt.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So GuMiho brought in kind of a standard style, and which is fine, right? And that's how he won when he reversed those games. It was actually GuMiho kind of playing the weird eccentric style that he made work before and became a champion before that didn't work for the round of 6. So I'm really wondering now, I mean, what does GuMiho do? It has to be a 3-0 streak from here on out.
Yeah. So he's bringing out Command Center first.
Yeah.
And if you recall from the interview, he mentioned that most of his practice, other than ladder, was in single player, like against a computer.
Ah, Romania, welcome.
It's a Fear Dragon level poster right there. Now, he mentioned that he practiced a lot against the computer, right? And Mexico
from Canada to Korea to GSL.
All right.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming, man. So, like I was saying, they basically, if you're practicing against the computer, people might be like, "What? Are you trolling?" No. You do that so that you're not really interrupted. It's for optimizing builds, right? So, like, you'll play against a computer because the computer won't do anything to you. It's just like a placeholder in the game, and you just see like you test like how quickly you can get things, how quickly you macro up, timestamps for what you're doing. Now, the build he's doing here is the thing most in need of optimization. Right. So Command Center first specifically, you are looking to get as much as you can as quickly as you can. So this is probably one of the builds, or the main build that he practiced in single player. So I'm expecting a very strong game out of GuMiho here.
Yeah, but this is Ling speed into Roche.
Yes, it is.
2 base. So RagnaroK could just come in here and go right for the knees.
It looks that way.
And take the Terran out. Now, I want to say, if this, oh my God, he's not going to get the scout off.
He is not.
Okay, so I really like this for RagnaroK. Now, I want to point out we've had a lot of insane Terran wins with this build. In fact, a lot of Terrans kind of refer to it as the OP build, the overpower build. But, you know, you need to let the build kind of get started before you're going to get to a place that's going to be comfortable. And this is a third Command Center too.
Yeah, this is.
I almost missed that. That's a third CC. I mean, I think that RagnaroK just wins.
He might.
Yeah.
He definitely might. Like, we might see a Banshee get started from GuMiho, in which case he might technically live. But yeah, this is going to be bad. One thing to mention, if GuMiho can somehow live through this, he has 3 Command Centers, so he can refill his SCV count.
He can recover.
Yeah, but he might just straight die. This is pretty bad what he's up against. The problem is his wall is going to go down, and so many Lings are being made, they are going to just flood in.
Yeah, a lot more Lings are coming.
He is so out of position right now,
Dude, this is so bad.
He is very close to dead right now.
I just don't.
Yeah, this is as bad as it can really get. So he's actually blocking Lings
with
his SCV Hellion, which I think is a good play.
Yeah. He needs to get the Banshee out to kill the roaches.
This is incredibly smart from GuMiho, and he's using his SCVs in the main base to try to slow this down. He loses the add-on. Did he start another Banshee? He did not. So he has one Banshee to fend that off, but he's blocked the links. Like, I think that there's something... GuMiho is, like, playing very smart.
Yeah,
he's just in a bad spot.
He's on to something here with this. And, I mean, he's fending the link. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I actually think that he's going to live through this.
Yeah. And look at the worker count. Look at the hatchery count, Tasteless.
I think this was almost a mistake here from RagnaroK. RagnaroK should have focused down the Hellions to let the Lynx come in here.
Dude, I've seen a lot of 3 command center builds against these types of Roach, Ravager, Ling, all-in type things. And I've never seen anyone hide their SCVs and Hellions and then go behind the Roach Ravager to stop the reinforcements. I've never seen that.
That's crazy.
And he just held that beautifully. And the workers are 33 to 24 right now. GuMiho is ahead.
Yeah, he's got 3 command centers that are dropping mules here.
He's going to be able to produce 3 SCVs at a time.
I just like...
RagnaroK, like, he's got all these great units now. He's got a Banshee, he's got a Viking, he's going Raven, he has Hellions. GuMiho is ahead. Damn.
I mean, this is I feel like I have new wrinkles forming on my brain right now, feeling that, because it's like, that's literally how you handle it. And I think RagnaroK made a pretty bad tactical choice that I think he thought was going to win the game, was he ran right up into the main, and
he was thinking about the finals when he went up that ramp.
Yeah. And what happened was that because the way the build works is you make a couple of roaches, and then what the roaches do the damage, the Lings kind of tank damage. And over time, it whittled down the Terran, but instead, the Hellions were able to intercept the Zerglings on the way up, and then the Banshee killed off the Roaches and Ravagers. And I mean, look, this is a 3-base Terran to a 2-base Zerg that's trying to get into viable tech. I mean, the Spire is like, what, 30% done? I mean, it's a ways away.
Yeah.
I really like this for GuMiho.
It looks fantastic. And look at this. The Raven is going in. He's going to throw down an auto turret. Will he actually see the Spire? I don't think he quite has vision of the Spire there, but it's 2-base, so like you can narrow it down, right? Honestly, I think like a scan wouldn't be too bad, like maybe just flying the Banshee through or something. Even the Raven, like he went partially in there, of course. This Overseer looks like it could get picked off here now. That's kind of nice. But yeah, look at that.
1-1 started, man.
Dude, there's good things here for GuMiho, and RagnaroK is... Like, look at the worker count now, Tace. It's 50 to 50.
Yeah.
Look how quickly he caught up with the 3 command center against 2 hatchery. Like,
yeah, meanwhile, the 3rd hatchery isn't even done, so the income's not even anywhere near as good as what GuMiho has.
Spire finishes, but still droning up. RagnaroK really trying to fix his economy right now. Some missile turrets are being made, so maybe GuMiho did end up seeing the Spire, or maybe he's just reading it. Either way, looking pretty strong for him right now. Dude, the push that comes from GuMiho is going to be so fearsome. RagnaroK is going to have to buy a lot of time with the mutas, and he's going to have to make a lot of Banelings and get the connections.
And there's already a Raven out, so it's not like you could plant Baneling mines, try to catch them or anything like that.
True.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to like really good Baneling connections. And I think that there's actually nothing fancy that GuMiho has to do to win this. It's funny, a lot of these games with these 2 guys are being decided at the start. Or at the first, moments of engagement with each other here.
Yeah. Looking very nice. The mutas fly up. He sees them. He has his armory here already on the way. There's just not a lot these mutas can do, man.
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, they're just trying to get anything that they can.
Well, it's also just 5 Mutalisks, right? It can't commit onto anything.
It's true.
And, we're going to see the Wallen get finished up here. I don't know how this Raven's over here, but I guess it is running around killing drones, which is annoying for the Zerg.
Yeah, he's going to have to send some mutas to go deal with that. That's so annoying. Yeah, 5 drones, 6 drones. Very nice.
Yeah, that's totally worth it. Here comes the push. Now, if RagnaroK could somehow shut this push down, the game's going to go on. But I will tell you, on paper, the Terran is looking extremely strong.
GuMiho pushing onto the creep, immediately removing a bunch of these creep tumors here. Baneling's getting an okay connection. It's a small army for GuMiho, but he is forcing drone production to cease. More Marines coming up. He's got those 1-1 upgrades against 0-0, very strong.
And so the Mutas are just going to try to find some way to counterattack here, but I think there should be enough turrets. And, I mean, this is a very good push setup over here. The tank over on this other side, it can get a lot of good shots off. The splitting here is very good right now with the infantry, as long as I think that GuMiho can just kind of hang on. Hold on, here come the Mutas now.
Well, with the Mutas there, it's a lot harder to actually pick up against the Banelings, so that is a good flank that comes in, but GuMiho does target down the Banelings well enough, so he'll keep a good base of Marines that will protect his medevacs.
The next wave is coming out, though. This is a lot.
This is going to kill him.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, notice where the Banelings are morphing. The Mutas can't protect them, so he has to commit with the Mutas. This should be GG, actually. There it is. All right.
And so it begins.
Yeah. Oh,
so
RagnaroK, you made a big mistake 2-0ing him.
Dude, GuMiho is just a real-life Saiyan, man. You get him close to death, and he powers up. That's just, it's super
It's like
GuMiho
he's got
here.
one of those, like, amulets you get in, like, I don't know, like a Metroidvania game where it's like, well, if you have 10% of your HP, you do more damage. It's like he casts, casts Berserk on himself. If he's down in a best of 5, then, like...
That's from those E-games, yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you
exactly,
mean.
yeah.
No, this was a very well-optimized... well, it would have been if he hadn't taken so much damage, but the fact that he pulled the SCVs behind the natural and then brought the Hellions back, amazing block there.
We'll be right back.
Stuck in my feelings these days. I've been up in my bedroom nowadays. Even with the sun shining so bright, I wait till stars come at night, so I could dream about you tonight. Truth is, I'm a little bit hesitant to hit you up. I get more scared as a damn grown up. This ain't a hookup, we could just burn up. I feel you so close up. I'm so sorry if I close up. Truth is, I just wanna truth is, I just wanna
Today's matchup. RagnaroK. GuMiho. Match 1. GSL Season 3. 2022 Hot 6 GSL Season 3.
The studio is filled up. I gotta say, man, you can feel the energy here.
Yep.
It's exciting. We're gonna go to Tropical Sacrifice for Game 4 here. And, you know, we're kind of like half joking, but also half serious that now that GuMiho's down 0-2, he is starting to come back, right? Like, he just did this on Monday.
He chose a great build. He made a move that I personally have never seen and stomped RagnaroK for that cheese. So we'll see what the next game is.
Yeah.
You know, don't want to jump to conclusions, but I mean, you know, we recognize patterns, and this is a pattern for GuMiho.
And a very different type of game. I mean, basically, RagnaroK had the counter for the build, and then GuMiho used a tactic to recover, which is very cool. But yeah, man, let's see here. Can GuMiho tie this up 2-2, or does RagnaroK take this one out? Again, we're going to go to Tropical Sacrifice here for Map 4 as his best of 5 continues here in the GSL with RagnaroK and GuMiho.
I can do this all day. Believe me when you hear me say I can do this all day. There's nothing that I can't.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
I will tell you what, Tasteless. Like, I am totally fine with either of these players going to the finals. But right now, I desperately want a Game 5, you know? Like, today could be very short. It's only 2 best of 5s.
No, it could be very quick.
Yeah.
I've got my fingers crossed. By the way, pool first.
Against Command Center first.
Now, I casted this with State earlier, and we thought that this just loses, but I don't know how early the pool has to be to work.
Yeah, this is not the quickest pool.
So this can be a little bit deceptive. But let's see how things pan out. Spending your honeymoon at GSL, welcome.
Well, all right. The fact that you guys are here, you are both keepers. You're both very
You're
lucky.
both keepers for sure. Okay, so the barracks... Okay, guys, he's got 4, now 6 lings started. Is Terran going to have what he needs? I'm getting a little bit scared here because the fact that he made 6 lings means he's coming, man. And, you know, how does a Terran play this out? Do you just want to, like, lift it up and finish your wall in and try to hold on?
Well, let's see. I tell you, GuMiho was so prepped for that Roach attack. I'm sure he's going to have a good idea what to do here. He sees 2 lings, so he knows that this is a quick pull. And the other lings actually, some of them ran around here. Of course, RagnaroK doesn't know the build yet, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, he doesn't know that he's in a very comfortable spot. Yeah, StarCraft 2, I do feel like there's an ability for Terran to recover. If this was Brood War and this was happening, I'd be like, guys, better warm up the car now. We're almost done.
No, it would be done. 1 Marine. 1 Marine can't beat 1 ling in StarCraft 1.
Yeah. Bunker starts, but the lings are already here.
Yeah, but watch the micro on this Marine. Look at him run away. What? He didn't go up the ramp. He went to the side of the ramp. Okay, the SCVs come to block in front. More SCVs being pulled.
It's just 1 Marine. Oh, GuMiho! Oh!
That was crazy.
All right. Well, I mean, he does not have any Marines making, by the way.
That's right. He does have a bunker on the way.
Yeah, he's got a bunker. Well, it's not finished yet, but it will. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, there is an SCV making that. So that's annoying, right? That makes the SCVs, you know, have to chase him around. That's lost mining timing. You know, the Zerg's not in a great position here. Who wins this? Somebody's wrong. Somebody's right.
He actually screwed up. I think he was actually going to get the last shot there.
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
That Ling may become a Baneling later that just ends the game. We don't know.
So I think things are going to quiet down a little bit here. It's kind of hard for the two players to interact with each other after that. The Zerg did not, keep making Zerglings and keep trying to come in there and end the game. So they're both going to start powering up. A lot of workers are going to start getting cranked out here.
Yeah. And third hatch is going up for GuMiho. It's not up yet. I think GuMiho is actually completely fine here after that. It's pool first, which slows your hatch down a little bit, and command center first allows you to get those SCVs going. He didn't really lose that much, so I think it's all right. It slowed him down some. Made him jank up his build a little bit. You didn't want to bunker right then. You wanted to have some tighter mining and everything, but he's going into a Viking. He's going into Hellions. And a third command center as well. So it looks like a very big powering build once again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the truth is that even though GuMiho got hiccuped a little bit, the Zerg kind of puts himself behind by trying to get those Lings out, and now he can the Terran can just go back to doing what they were doing anyways. Now in this build, the Terran is actually getting a third command center. We had a lot of 2-base builds where they just powered up on 2-base and try to run across the map and clobber the Zerg. This game is not going to be one of them.
I like these three command center ones, to be honest. I want to see a couple e-bays go down, though. Really power into this. 3 more racks already being started here as well. Range just moving forward to hold that front. Did get rid of that bunker. No, actually, it looks like it's still there. But he is walling in, so probably won't need it for too much longer here. And there are the e-bays. The e-bays get started, and they're started just slightly, just seconds after the evolution chambers. So, that's totally fine. They'll be so close on those upgrades, which on both sides, that's such an important thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you basically can't not get them. If you're not going to get them, you're going to be trying to end the game right away.
Yeah, it's there's the only macro-esque build with Zerg that gets late upgrades is the 2-hatch Muta, right? And you're relying so much on speed banes with that build, it's kind of crazy. But here, if you're going to actually have a macro game, both players need to be going for those upgrades heavily.
And I don't think anybody's clearly ahead right now, but I think this is definitely a doable one for GuMiho. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is the Game 1 and Game 2. GuMiho, shortly after the game started was in a pretty bad spot and kind of never really had a chance to recover, especially for a player like RagnaroK who's just going to kind of stay on top of everything. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see when the game picks up a little bit more what exactly is going to be happening here.
Well, GuMiho scouts out that very quick base, that 4th base and the 5th base, both coming up right now. I do like this from RagnaroK, and we've seen this multiple times now, where he will just go ahead and go to 5 base immediately. This feels like it's a nice modern response, right? For a long time, people go 4th base then 5th base rather than them both at the same time. But this gives them a little bit of extra greediness here against a very powering build that GuMiho is using. Now a lot of creep going down.
Yeah, I think he knows he could probably come through here and basically wipe all this out. It's a lot of creep tubers, by the way.
That's a lot of creep gone.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And it's going to make it a little bit easier if he wants to push in there. I think especially at the lower side, RagnaroK's pretty much paved everything with creep. So it makes that 3rd base a lot safer.
Yeah.
But, talking about 3rd bases, man, RagnaroK's already going up to a 4th and a 5th. He's growing rapidly. And honestly, his growth rate, it feels like Rogue's playing or something like that. The
maybe
past.
Even more so.
Yeah, he looks really scary.
The double base is pretty insane. But the worker count is very similar for the two right now. That was
big loss there for GuMiho.
Yeah, he lost more than he should have. He is removing more creep during this time as well, though, which is important. A lot of queens down here trying to relay it. But he's got a pretty solid attack path to that 4th base location, right? There is not much creep in front of it. That is killable.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to start to get tanks over there and try to get a position where you can maybe break in. You can see stimming and chasing them back right now. There's actually another drop right at the bottom. He's microing on 2 different fronts right now. But he hasn't really kind of made it in anywhere just yet.
He's got a couple mines laid around as well, by the way, just in case anything does get lured.
Uh-oh. That's not a tight wall in.
No. Certainly is not. More bio comes down, so it doesn't seem like it's too big a deal. This is a few Marines, maybe an SCV. Their 2-2s are lined up really nicely, and there's the infestation pit, as well as a couple macro hatcheries going up here. The macro hatcheries look to be both in the main base, so, I mean, he is really committing to Ling Bane. We'll see as he goes up into hive. I imagine he'll go Ultraless, but we'll see. Another great scan here, some good pressure, getting rid of a lot of creep tumors. Putting a bit of damage down on this hatchery, but will be forced to pick up his Ling Scum.
Yeah, but GuMiho not making a lot of headway in any of the pushes anymore. Not since he lost that little skirmish there earlier. There's the 4th base set up. We're going to have SCVs transfer to that very soon. Both sides are getting close to maxing out. And, you know, I think once we get the worker transfer over to that base, which I don't know why it's not there yet, because it's just sitting there without anything mining in it for a while now. I think GuMiho's going to be where he needs to be. But right now, I think RagnaroK pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he's doing all right. One thing you got to just kind of keep attention on as well, though, here, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was big. That was a big moment.
GuMiho looks panicked right now.
Dude, that was a lot of Marines that he lost there. He was doing very well army supply-wise compared to RagnaroK. But yeah, one thing I want to mention, the macro hatches are incredibly important here for RagnaroK as well. Because when you're going pure Ling Bane, there are situations where your armies will kind of trade, but you won't have enough larvae, right? So he needs to make sure that he's still hitting those injections and everything as well. This little attack, not going to get too much done. Oh, God. Look at, oh, that Marauder just ate a million Banelings. Very well done by GuMiho.
Yeah.
Goes to the main, sees the double spore, decides to turn around.
It's been a pretty dramatic game here. RagnaroK continues to grow out. He's now taking this base close to 6 o'clock. It doesn't seem like his growth is going to get impeded anywhere here. And I don't even know about this. It seems like, you know, GuMiho started to slow down now. He's not able to move his screen as fast to try to catch and scoop up these units before they get connected with the Banelings.
Yeah, I think he's trying to use heavy Marauders a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, look how many he has. He's really trying to soak up Banes with that right now.
Yeah, nice kiting here, but there's so much coming from so many different angles.
Oh my God, it is absurd how much Ling Bane is actually here right now. GuMiho is going to have to pick up with what he has left over. A lot of damage on those Overseers. They're all in the deep red. GuMiho is going to have to pull back. Supply very similar, which is scary against Ling Bane. It's only half a supply a unit.
Yeah. The Banes are going to keep coming here. It just doesn't quite seem like there's enough to like split and shoot down all the Banes. Well, hold on, maybe there is.
Yeah, the Banelings, you know, not as good against these Marauders, so it is super Marauder heavy. They are clearing the Lings really quickly.
You know, it seems almost like RagnaroK overextended a little bit here. Oh, never mind. I didn't see that. Sorry. 14 SCV kills down there.
That is painful.
I was wondering what was going on with that fight. I thought, gosh, it's probably better to just back up and
GuMiho
try to regroup.
Drops to 54 workers. That's a lot lower than what he was at. So that's a bit painful.
Yeah. That being said, I don't think GuMiho's dead yet at all, but I am worried for him here. I mean, this Zerg is continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger. We've got a small drop coming in over here. It's going to snipe the Queen and maybe get the drones in the hatch. I mean, I don't see a lot defending here. Very good.
Marauder drops are kind of funny. They can actually pick off hatches real quick, but you see the Lings actually, it's like it takes them a little bit to kill those, unlike Marines.
Yeah, well, they're easier to micro, too, in and out of dropships. They're very beefy units.
Yeah, and look at this.
This base goes down, man.
Yeah, he's going to get it. You're right. That's a very nice pick-off.
This is a win that GuMiho needed very badly. We saw a couple big losses there. Now he's going to come up here from the top.
Yeah, he only lost one Marauder there, by the way. And look at the supply differential now, Tasteless. Like, at Army, right? 68 versus 117.
Yeah.
So even though GuMiho had a couple mistakes there and some good engagements, I think you're right. I think RagnaroK did overdo it a little bit when he chased him all the way down. Ling Bane, sometimes it's hard to refill that supply. Like, you need so many larvae, it's actually insane. But he is going into Hydras, so if he can get a decent group of Hydras roaming around on his creep, I can definitely see him stabilizing this. But right now, GuMiho, if he continues with this pressure, I think he's going to get more bases.
Yeah, if GuMiho can keep growing, he's going to be fine. And really, at this point in time, the attention is so much more on the Zerg side of the map. Zerg's really on his back foot here. Can he actually break into this spot up here?
And that hatchery taking some serious damage. Here comes the Lingbane to try to get. Oh, and he does have to pick up the Marauders. The hatchery is so low,
Dude,
though. He's going to go for it again.
Yeah, if he can get it there. Oh, another base killed and not canceled.
GuMiho is absolutely
Dude,
everywhere.
he can get it. He can get it under the hatchery.
Oh, my God. Another Marauder drop over there with the Queens. Those Marauders so tanky, so beefy.
What is happening? He's everywhere.
GuMiho is literally everywhere.
He's literally
right now.
all over the map.
GuMiho is doing all the things. And look at this, Ling's coming up. A very marine heavy army here. Going to be able to mouse him down. He kills another hatchery down at the bottom right once again. He's starting to pick off the Queens. Banes do come in, but it's very heavy Marauder, so he just splits and lets them hit.
It's gone. The hatchery's been killed off.
Dude.
And, you know, GuMiho is still dealing a decent amount of damage like everywhere else on the map. There is a command center way in the top left corner. It's also not being mined from. But, you know, these are not, more opportunities arising here. And it feels like GuMiho, you know, he's kind of been stuck on this tech for a while. And now that we have so many more Marauders here, it seems like this is very, very difficult for RagnaroK to deal with. RagnaroK is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, I guess 4, but 1 is making.
Lurkers are going to be added in from RagnaroK, so that is one way you can grind back some of the value, but the way GuMiho has been playing, where he's kind of everywhere at once, multitasking all over the place and hitting, is going to be hard with a small amount of Lurkers to defend. So I definitely feel like GuMiho is very close to tipping this game over and winning.
Yeah, and he's also, RagnaroK, I think, was so stuck on this kind of comp, and Ling Bane is strong, but you're trading out stuff, and if you don't trade effectively, you're just dropping army, right? Where, like, you know, Marine, Marauder, Medevac is so much more robust because if you can take a good exchange, you heal up to full. Oh my God! Yeah, what a scene here,
dude! Look at this. The Lurkers are coming out, but there's so many Marauders here. He's just picking them off very quickly. The Ling Bane coming up, and the Marauders once again tanking heavily. He kills off yet another hatchery. Just a stupid amount of hatches killed this game by GuMiho.
Yeah, this is
He's
over,
killed like
man.
8 hatcheries or something.
This is over. We're going to go on to Game 5. GG.
Woo! The prophecy is being fulfilled.
This is crazy, man. This isn't real. The writers for this show are so bad. This is such a trite storyline. But he always comes back after being down 0-2.
Dude, I tell you what. Right now, if I'm Hero, I'm not worrying about Maru. I'm thinking of what's going to happen to my image when I show up to GSL Finals late to make sure I lose the first game to GuMiho.
Yeah, that's the only way.
My God,
Gotta
this
get
guy...
yourself DQ'd and lose a match.
How do you stop him? Like, you go up 2-0 and you're like, yeah, see, I know I'm going to beat you. Like, I'm so much better than you. And then he just turns it on.
We've got Hero coming over here.
Yeah, old teammates. They were both on CJ Entus together back in the day during that Kespa switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just some words of support to his close friend there.
This is crazy. We're getting our Game 5. We're getting our value.
Yeah. And it's going to be Data C.
Listen,
this
guys,
is the big map.
If that was a 3-0 earlier, you guys should have just gone to the front desk and gotten your money back. But GuMiho saved the show.
Yeah, we give full refunds today, by the way, if you don't like the show.
That's right, yeah. Data C. It's a big map. How exactly is this going to be played out?
It's battle cruiser time, Tasteless.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, our game's already ready. Let's go.
I can do this all day. Believe me when you hear me say I can do this all day. There's nothing that I cannot.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
So hype. Command center first.
From Seattle, welcome. I've seen this before. It's true.
Oh, man. Oh.
Excellent signs in the audience
Yeah,
here, guys.
no, people are getting hype, getting behind GuMiho here.
Artosis at CC first again.
Of course it
and
is.
with a Wallen at the ramp, by the way. A nice adjustment.
Dude. Yeah.
Why Wallen? I'm sorry, the big ramp, not the ramp, the small ramp is what I meant to say here. But yeah, this is a good approach. It's actually an improvement off what he was doing before, where it's like, no, Wallen to protect the command center.
And I think that this is a great build for him to, choose to do like 3 times in a row here. Like we were talking about before, this is the type of thing you optimize in single player.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised in the interview, by the way, that he mentioned that he was practicing builds in single player. Because I feel like if you really understand prep, it's like, oh, all right.
Command center first.
Yeah, you're going to command center first because that's the kind of build you practice without being attacked.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's the first thing that pops into my mind, at least. But the thing is, I don't know that there is an agreed-upon counter to this right now. I do like RagnaroK's idea of 3 bases, then 4 and 5 at the same time.
Yeah.
He's been doing that. I think that it's a good idea. The Ling Bane there, I think you're right. When you called that it was an overextension, when it looked like he almost broke GuMiho, I think you're actually right that it was an overextension. Like, it looked like it was going very well, but he actually didn't gain much value at the end of his army. And then he didn't have enough larvae to actually replace it. So definitely some issues going on there.
Yeah, it was, it's funny. We've had so much of the first, oh, dude, it's okay. It's the same build again.
Oh,
I was about to say we have, before I saw that come down, I was going to say we've had every game almost always hinged on an interaction right at the start, and this game's not going to be any different. Now, there is a...
Oh, he has a third hatch started, though, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But this should be aggression, right? Roach weren't that fast? Am I crazy?
Well, we'll see if he actually goes. Like,
I'm looking at this. I don't think you can get in.
He knows exactly what he's against. Like,
5
he knows
roaches,
that this is command
6
center.
roaches.
Yeah, I guess he's going for it. All right. Well, GuMiho, this is funny because he forced the land there, so he's going to have 1 less unit than he should have for sure. Maybe even...
Thing is, if this can't get in and do damage, I mean, this is pretty ideal for Terran, right?
Yeah.
A wall. I mean, and by the way, I'm sure we all know, but it's worth repeating. Roaches don't have great range. If they can kill the Wallen, great, but if they can't fire over a Wallen and win a fight like that.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And look, they're going way around. Oh my God, he sees a roach. So that's very, very important. Banshee insta-starts. And by the way, it is a battlecruiser build, Tasteless.
Yep.
It is indeed. Now, he goes back behind. Let's see if he makes the bunker. I would imagine he's going to. There it is. There it is. He's making mines, so that can pop 2 roaches right away.
Oh my, dude, I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah,
I thought he could just walk in there.
Me too.
Okay. Well, he's taking the fight over here. No, the mine goes down.
The SCVs were blocking mines from popping out on the correct side, perhaps. I think that's what we just saw.
I think you're right.
Okay, he gets the bunker finished. The Banshee's about to pop out. This is okay. Like, he's not dead by any means.
Dude, that was so funny when I thought the roaches were just going to go around.
Yeah, no, they started wiggling. In fact, RagnaroK, it looked like he thought it might work. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, first battlecruiser on the way. He lost 6 SCVs. This is not the end of the world. He doesn't have the triple command that we were talking about before. When something like that happens, you have triple command, you're actually oftentimes ahead because you can just refill immediately. But I'm sure he'll keep up nonstop SCV production, drop his mules and everything. And he's going to be relying upon the battlecruiser to kind of clean up what went wrong, right? Like get him some parity in this game.
So it's important to emphasize that the Zerg, what they did with the roaches, it was not without sacrifice. And so, the battlecruiser, we've already seen in this season specifically, but in years past, that these can be devastating to Zerg. I mean, the battlecruiser does so much damage, and it's just hard. If you don't kill it off, and it warps away and repairs, it's like just getting so much value. So I'm a little bit worried here. Now, I think RagnaroK has proven to be kind of a master of defense. But let's see how he deals with this, because defending against a battlecruiser is totally different than trying to fight a bunch of infantry running around on the ground and picking up and running away.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredibly different game. I love that he's actually falling into his mech before Game 5.
Oh, yeah.
It's Battlecruiser mech, and he likes 4 Battlecruisers instead of 3, so he's got his own little spin on that. This third command center is going to be finishing up shortly here. He's got the factories rolling. He hasn't taken too much damage. Definitely a very playable game. I guess we just get to see what macro GuMiho mech looks like here against RagnaroK. Is RagnaroK going to go, yeah, is he going to go Corruptor like Roach, Ravager, Ling, right? Because that's something that we did see beat GuMiho the last time he went for this strategy.
So you can see he's going to force the Queens to burn through all of their energy.
I think it's worth, you know?
It's something, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly what he wanted, but you can see the kind of careful play that he's utilizing right now. Like, he didn't use his jump.
Although, I'll tell you what, that was like probably as good as it gets for the Zerg to only lose Queen energy.
Oh, for sure.
That's as good as it ever gets.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, a couple of Cyclones are going to be popping out here.
If GuMiho wins this, he's doing it on his own terms. Going with, you know, Battlecruiser into mech. And, you know, we talked before the series started, we were musing about, like, well, what kind of style is he going to bring, right? Apparently, no matter how he does it, he goes 0-2 and then comes back at least 2-0. But I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. We haven't really seen RagnaroK play against this style. That could be good for GuMiho.
Well, right now, he's getting attack upgrades for melee and range, and he's getting Corruptors. So I think that we're going to see that type of style that we've talked about quite a bit. We've seen quite a few times, right? He's already got his 80 workers, so it can just be units from here. The Corruptors kind of take care of the BCs. Now, look, he actually jumped, and he's waiting. So he's going to hit another location and then send in the BCs.
Yeah, I really like this.
This is cool. Also, it brings him closer to another jump.
Is this hatch going to get killed here?
It's going to get canceled, man. That's canceled right there.
Oh, get it!
What? That was so low.
I feel like he could have killed that.
Damn.
Tough call, though. Hellion's coming in here to clean it up.
Well, if you're going to lose the Banshee either way, man. The thing is, sometimes you just auto-react. You're like, yep, run this.
No, you're going so fast that, yeah, you just...
15 Swarm Hosts?
Oh, my God.
Oh, he canceled 2. That's hilarious. Start 15. He's like, you know what? I need 13, not 15. But look, the Swarm Host counterplay. GuMiho is used to this. He knows about this, right? Like, he's the first one that solved this, in fact. Some of the ways he solved it were, like, Thor drops. This was way back in the day. And Vikings, right, to kind of knock them out of the air. Nowadays, we have seen him utilize Hellbats with some medevacs. Obviously, that's kind of like a well-known way to tank. Now, look, he's actually waited so long with these BCs, Tasteless. He jumped them back there. They disappear. So now he can go in and harass them and then jump home. So that's not something you're used to. Normally, when you jump BCs in, they get dealt with, and you better get out of the base before they die because you can't jump away. So this is going to be pretty surprising for RagnaroK when they can jump out, because he's going to think that these things just jumped in.
Yeah, this is some pretty brainy stuff here. And this is couldn't be at a better time.
Oh, my God.
But hold on. We're going to see RagnaroK try to hammer this position.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good from RagnaroK. A very good first volley. He's killing several siege tanks. Cyclones, Baneling's rolling in to deal with the Hellbats.
I mean, I just don't see much of anything left over here. He sends it back. Sends it back.
Oh, God, don't lose that command center.
He needs to repair that. But I think this might actually be over. I think there's a reason why we don't see Terrence do this more and more. This is a maxed out Zerg right now. It's like 118 supply.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty big difference. His BCs have some serious damage on them as well. The first Swarm Host volley was just so efficient, and here comes the second. This one's going to be great, too. It's going to be great. Now, he's trying to repair these BCs, but he's going to lose them. Oh, Tasteless. I think you're right. I think the mech has fallen.
He should have played with the style that worked before. RagnaroK is taking this. He's going to the GSL finals.
Very well done. Huge crowd here to see him go to his first finals. GuMiho made it so close. He played a fantastic tournament. It's great to have him back. But RagnaroK is the rising star of GSL Code S right now.
He's the new Zerg. Even though he's been around forever, he's the new top Zerg out here.
Yeah.
He did what Dark and Rogue couldn't do, and so many other Zergs in the past couldn't do. GuMiho, man, you know, talk about an emotional journey, a real roller coaster ride. You know, I gotta I got to call into question his decision to go for an alternative comp. You know, maybe stick with what's working, right? I mean, it seems like as time passed, he had a better handle on how to take this.
I think it's a tough map for that as well, so I'm okay with his decision. It didn't work out this time, unfortunately.
Right.
And here RagnaroK is, look at this. Dude, over 10 years he's been playing. Over 10 years he's been a pro gamer, and he's finally in the finals. Guys, don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
Be like RagnaroK. Wait over 10 years of doing something full-time.
Over a decade of this journey to get to here. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to say, man, when we interview him, because, I mean, this is like literally a dream. You worked so hard, and so many times you tried and failed.
It's crazy.
Wow, what a spectacular performance from RagnaroK. He makes it to his first GSL finals in 10 years. All right, let's give it up for RagnaroK. RagnaroK, sincere congratulations to you. Your first ever GSL finals in 10 years. How do you feel right now?
아 이게 너무 뭔가 아 좋긴 한데.
Like, I'm so happy right now. I'm like ecstatic.
좀 아쉬워요.
But you know, losing the 2 games, it's kind of a disappointing performance from me. I thought I'd be really happy after the win. I mean, I'm happy, but
뭔가 제가 못할 때 그 모습을 한 판 보여줘가지고.
I feel like I've shown some disappointing performance in the later games, so I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Why did you slap your cheek after that win?
그러니까 그 4세트에서.
You know, after in the fourth game, I had an edge over him. But when I try to end the game, I tend to make trivial mistakes, and I was losing a lot of army there. So, you know, I slapped my cheek to make sure I don't make the same mistake in the last game. All right, then. So, what an emotional moment for you. And this is going to be a GSL finals. And who do you want to thank right now?
일단 당연히 이제 제 부모님한테.
Of course, I want to thank my mom and dad.
그리고 최근에 이제 부모님보다 많이 보는.
And also, you know, I've been seeing Hero, Bunny, and Hero's wife a lot more than I see my parents these days. So I'm really thankful to all of them.
어제도 재선 형이 저 연습 도와주면서.
And yesterday, Bunny was helping me with practice yesterday, and he also helped me with the mentality control. And he gave me a lot of useful advices. He told me what to do in certain situations. And when it's like 2-2 score in the last game, he told me to do like something else, and he was really helpful. So Bunny helped you, Bunny helped Hero. He's really busy. I really want to see Bunny right now. So RagnaroK, let's talk about the games. So this is the first round of 4 for you. So I'm really curious to what you're going to show us in the first game. And then you've been showing the Roche harasses a lot this season. So how did you come up with the opening? I mean, before coming here, I wasn't thinking of playing the Roaches because I used it so much this season. And I had a feeling that GuMiho prepared a counter strategy to it, so I wasn't going to use it. But then I got this feeling, I had a feeling that I should use it. And then, you know, that's why I decided to use it in the first game, the second game. And in the last game, I was also able to use it, which ended up as the final match win for me. You're very decisive today. And what was the background behind your decisiveness today? I mean, I think I was rushing a bit. And I just wanted to close out the series with the massive army. And the opponent was not able to fend off my army in ladder and practice. So I probably could have won that match, won the fourth match if it was in online game, but not an offline stage. And the online was actually going for Mac in the last game. And then, you know, he was kind of provoking you to go for the Roaches. He was going to go for the Sim City with the Terran. That's what his plan was. And then, were you able to, were you like Did you prepare a strategy to counter his battle cruisers in the end? I knew that GuMiho was going to use the battle cruiser at some point in the match. In the round of 10, you know, I prepared a lot of counter mech strategies. And then I had a feeling, you know, going for the Hive is actually a good counter to the mech. So that's why I used the Hive strategy today. And had GuMiho gone for the bio, it would have been really difficult for me. Alright, let's talk about the finals now. RagnaroK, your finals opponent will be either Maru or Hero. If it's Hero as your opponent, you're going to be facing a player that you see more than your family. So who do you want, objectively speaking, as your opponent between Maru and Hero? I mean, Hero is playing really well these days. I think I can play a comfortable match against him. And if Maru makes it to the finals, I'm gonna have to look at him in an incredulous way. He's gonna do very scary strategies. So RagnaroK moving on to the first ever GSL finals. For some players, they tend to call their parents to watch them live. But are you gonna bring your family to the finals day? You know, I've never called my family to the GSL finals because I haven't been to the finals before, but I think I'm going to bring them down. And I'm not a player who gets nervous because certain people are here, so I don't think it's going to matter to me. I'm really looking forward to how your finals performance is going to look, RagnaroK. So before we wrap this up, anything else you want to say to the StarCraft 2 fans? I mean, like I said before, I feel like the universe is helping me this season. But for today's performance, you know, I think I let down the 2 games because I think the universe is telling me to not let my guard down. I will not show a 4th game-like performance in the finals. Once again, congratulations to RagnaroK. Please give it up for RagnaroK.
네, 이렇게 결승 첫 번째 진출자 신일범 선수 만나봤습니다.
Exciting stuff, man. Great series. Goodbye to GuMiho, but I'll tell you, man, he was a real incredible part of this show for this season. We've got a break, guys. Then we go to Maru versus Hero. We will be right back.